Well, it was a little too late. Cloudy had quit feeding the babies. And that also means, of course, that Gray had quit feeding the babies. This is what happens. She's ready to reset. She lays an egg, and she simply ignores her babies. And she leads Gray to ignore them because she stops feeding them and seduces him into breeding again. So he's not paying any attention to the babies either. He's chasing her around. So I've been watching these little guys all day. Cloudy actually climbed down to the bottom of the nest and sat with them, and I thought, oh, okay, now she's going to take care of them. No, she just sat down there with them because she's getting ready to lay another egg. They've not had anything to eat all day long. They're all getting pretty desperate. So I had to pull Cloudy. I put her out in the flight cage, and she'll just drop her egg out there. And it will probably take Gray somewhere between 12 and 24 hours to cue in that he needs to start feeding these babies. In the meantime, they've already gone without food for probably 24 hours because they were empty this morning. So the minute she laid that egg, she was done. She was probably done pretty much a day or two before that. So these guys are hurting. So I have some baby formula. See him looking down at them? That's probably a good sign. But his agitation, he's been doing this all day, is breeding agitation. This is, I have a mate. This is my cage. But wait a minute, where is my mate? What happened now? And it's going to take him 12 to 24 hours to switch gears and realize, you know what? She's gone, the nest box is gone, the only thing that's left here is babies. And in the meantime, I have to feed them. Now, they're old enough so they're not going to be accepting a lot of food from me, but they are hungry enough that they're taking little mouthfuls. So I have baby bird formula, and I'll be feeding them, just putting a drop in their mouths every 10 to 15 minutes for the rest of the evening. I want to get them through the night. Hopefully by morning, Gray will wake up and realize that he's got some babies to feed. I just need to keep them strong enough so that they'll keep hollering at him and cue him back in again. So it's frustrating, but this whole, you know, their auto reset is just, especially in some hens, is so powerful that you just can't get anywhere with them. Like, Sky over here took 24 hours to start taking care of these babies again. But she hadn't laid an egg or anything like that, and Jester was still fully focused on the chicks, and he had been actively feeding them out in the big cage. He would go in the nest box and feed them. So it was an easy transition for these two. She just kind of quit for 24 hours, but he was already up and running, so it didn't matter. Same thing with Haverty. He had started going in the nest box to feed the chicks, so when I brought him in here and Lacey kind of froze up for a little while. She froze up for a matter of hours, not that long. He just covered it. But Gray had already quit feeding the babies. He was already following the hen's lead, and he's in a completely different mode right now. And all this excitement and fluttering around and aggression and calling is all about, I want to breed. And the babies are just sitting down there. So, one of the things that I did, where I went wrong here was, I usually pull that hen away from that box by the 25th day. So it is the 25th day for the oldest chick in this group. But she had two older chicks. So the 25th day for her was 5 or 6 days ago. So that's where I went wrong. I should have pulled this out a lot sooner. But I wasn't thinking in the terms of, you know, she'd be ready to move on with chicks that were no longer in her nest. But I think it's a matter of time, you know. 3.5 weeks after, you gotta pull something, either the hen or the box or something. After that first chick hatches. And it looks like, at least with Cloudy, it's even the first chick, even if the first chick isn't still there anymore. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's a little frustrating, but I'll get him through the night, and I'm sure Gray will pick it up pretty soon.